welcome back to my channel, Becky's Allotment. I've been away for a little while, so there's been no videos. I've just been catching up on work and doing some other stuff, so although I have been at the allotment some of the time, I haven't been here that much, so not a lot has been done. So it's my week off this week and I am going to be doing the weeding, because as you can imagine, I haven't weeded for a month, so it's absolutely mental. So me and Dad did start some on Saturday and I took up some of the onions, which were pretty decent. I was really pleased with them. So onions are doing really well this year. Corn, not so much, but I will show you what's doing well and what isn't, and yeah, just tag along and I'll show you what's happening. So I'm currently in the greenhouse and I'm going to show you what's going on here. As you can see, that is not a tomato, it is actually a lemon cucumber, so I'll show you how those are doing now. So as you can see, this is the lemon cucumber, and there is literally millions of them growing all up all up my netting, or my shade netting. And when they're done, let's have a look if I can show you when that's done, they will look like this, like a little lemon. So that's the lemon cucumbers. Then we have next door to it the stem spot, and that one's gone quite a bit bigger than I expected. So we've got a little bit of powdery mildew on the cucumbers, but they seem to be doing alright despite it. And we've got the marigolds, and this is a sugar baby watermelon, so we'll see how that does. And then there we've got, those are supposed to be mini munch. I haven't actually had any cucumbers off them yet, but still early days because that was late planting. And then we've also got a Bacillus cucumber that someone gave me. Then over here we've got tomatoes. So these are the sun gold, and these are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm loving these sun gold. It's the first time I've grown these, and we'll see how they do. The black tomato, which is this one, they haven't turned black yet, and there's another sun gold behind that. So then we have the basket of fire chilies and my asparagus that I grew from seed. I've kept it in here because there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of asparagus beetle out, and I wanted to protect these, so I've kept them in the greenhouse and it seems to have done the trick. And then behind these, if you can see, there is some peppers. So, oh, if I can move back, this is a Bolivian rainbow pepper, and that's got some pretty purple flowers on it. Hopefully there's plenty of bees in here, so we'll get some chilies off that. I think this one, same thing, has a chili on it already. And oh god, cucumbers are attacking me. Then we have the oh god, what are they called? I'll put it up on the screen because I can't remember for the life of me. But these are absolutely gorgeous. Cape gooseberries, that's it. And I'll be picking these after. And these are gorgeous. So that's what's happening in the greenhouse so far. At the moment it's literally harvest and plant out your winter stuff. So I have got some cabbages already. All the sprouts and stuff were planted earlier this year, but they're due a feed, so I'll have to do those. The kale, we've been picking loads. So I'll just show you my brassicas. So I meant to pot these up weeks ago and it just hasn't been done. But I have actually sprayed these with this BT. So that should stop the caterpillars. And I'd been watching outside and we didn't have any for ages. And then all of a sudden they descended and annihilated the ones that were outside. The ones inside in the net tunnel were fine, but the outdoor ones didn't do too great. In here they were fine, so I sprayed these ready. Just drinking a bit of tea. And I've also got a spray. Oh no, I've sprayed the ones outside, but I think I have to respray them because it rained. But I'll show you how those are doing in a minute. So these are the broccoli that I planted out, well, last week, but they'd been outside in a pot for quite a while and they got annihilated by the cabbage white caterpillars. But I have sprayed them with that BT and hopefully they'll come back. They've still got some leaves. But these are my cabbages, and although they've got a little bit of damage from slugs, it doesn't appear to be too much. And these are the Savoy cabbages. Now these will do fine, hopefully. They have been sprayed with the BT and I will carry on spraying them as they get more leaves until the cabbage whites have gone. So that is my brassicas. I did dig up the celery and planted some lettuce in its place. So this is the Webb's Wonderful, and I don't harvest the leaves, I harvest the whole lettuce. So that one should be doing great and I'll be having some of that soon. My 3 carrots, I've picked one and left the other 2 to get a bit more water. Now it's been raining and we'll see how those do. And when they say don't put potatoes in your compost bin, you shouldn't, because this is what happens. You get millions of them growing. And here I had a massive pile of compost, which I've now put in the bins to make space to get into the back of the polytunnel, but as you can see it's decided to grow a pumpkin and chard and potatoes, so I'm gonna leave it, see what happens. Don't know what's growing on it. I will have to cut these ones over the path down. But let's see what comes of this compost pumpkin. So this is the polytunnel, which I should be replacing in the autumn winter. I've decided, because I ruined the last cage by letting it blow away, I'm going to be using this what do you call it, this frame, and making another one and using this polytunnel skin for spares and repairs. But this back of this polytunnel, which gets a lot of the wind, has been ruined, so this will be replaced. Out the front we have the blueberries. I did feed these in spring with some azalea food, I think it is. And we have some pretty massive blueberries. But I'm also really pleased that my very little pink blueberry plant from last year has produced quite a few fruits this year. So the netting seems to have come off and a couple of birds have pecked one of them, but I can spy one that will be mine. So I'm really happy with the blueberries this year. And as you can see, the runner beans are doing extremely well. French beans, not as great, but still as prolific as they always are. And if you remember, the giant single sunflowers that I planted earlier this year turned out not to be giant and not to be single. So I planted some more, and although these aren't going to be giant, as in tall, maybe I'll have a giant head on it. I don't know. But these are the ones I planted later on. Then I have my Atlantic giant, so planted there where the stick is, and it's currently growing through the beans. Let's have a look. I'm sure I've seen a pumpkin. Random potatoes growing everywhere. Oh, there we go. Ow. So there we have one pumpkin so far. And then we've got summer squash, and I'll show you the other two after. Oh, I can actually feel some rain. So here's the runner beans. These are the Benchmaster. So these will get quite long, and there is literally millions of flowers, millions of beans to come. And after last year's awful failure, I'm really pleased to see these this year. This one looks to be falling down, the wind's blowing, but we're still getting plenty of beans. And as you can see, my pumpkin that I just showed you is actually starting to grow up the bean tower, which is crazy. And another pumpkin coming. So those are the Firestorm, slightly smaller beans than the Benchmaster, but they're all really, really nice. So look at the size of that. So I think I've got some picking on the beans to do. We had been picking them once a week, but I think we might have to pick them a little more often now. Walk through the weeds. I'm going to leave the weeds in here because it's fine. And we've got the Firestorm. They're doing alright. And then we have the climbing Balotti beans. And these are still flat at the moment. But these are the pods and the little peas. So these are doing fantastic. Then this is a tomato sucker which I planted outside, and that's doing okay. The corn, not so great. It's small, looks a bit pathetic at the moment. So yeah, not impressed with the corn this year. Started with a good start, but not brilliant. Oh, see if I can show you this. Oh, it's entangled in the rest of them. But there's all the lottie beans coming. Isn't that pretty? Look at the colours on that. Gorgeous. And then the French beans, which were attacked by slugs, and I was going to replant but didn't. They came back, just weaker, slower, but we'll see how they do. Then I have my, over here, suckers in a bucket of water, see if they'd grow. Some of them I've planted out, others I've just left in the bucket to see what they do. Then we have the outdoor beefsteak tomato, which is producing tomatoes there, as you can see. It just seems to take a while. Over here we have these, I don't even know what they are, some sort of grasses, and unfortunately, because I haven't been able to sort out a place for these grapes yet, or an arch, this grapevine is producing grapes in a little pot. Then this is where I've been keeping my brassicas. They are fine for ages and then attacked. I've sprayed these with the BT, but it has rained since then, so I'll probably have to spray them again. And we'll see how those do. If they come back, they'll get planted out. The lilies have come to an end. And then in here we have the rest of the tomatoes. I think I'm going to open this up because those beefsteak ones are looking impressive. Can you hear that gorgeous rain outside? Absolutely brilliant. Love the rain at the moment, saving me from watering the beans outside. So let's have a look. The beefsteaks. These are the crimson blush, and they are looking amazing. That one looks to have split a bit, but that's the joys of growing in a polytunnel. No rain. And we've got some more around there. And I don't know if you can see any others, but it's literally full of them. And then if you remember, behind this we planted sweet potatoes. So they've literally crossed the path, knocked over the giant parsnip, and they're starting to grow in there. And they were right over in the corner, so they're surrounding the tomatoes, keeping the weeds down there. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see, if you can see that, it's a little root that they're putting down as they're trailing along, which is where they grow the potatoes. So need to give them another good watering, but hopefully we'll get some sweet potatoes out of those. Then we've got the rest of the tomatoes. These are the, I can't see them. Oh, Tigerella, as they're stripy. If you can see that. Yep. Good. I can't remember what these are. They might be a Crimson Crush or a Shirley. And I got a bit carried away with the Sun Gold, which is good because they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with those tomatoes. and I will grow them forever. They are so lovely, really tasty. They're only small but really nice. Then we've got the can't remember what this one is. I can't see the label anyway. I don't think it's a black tomato because it's got red tomatoes on it. I think it's an F1 type. Can't remember. I have to go back through the video and have a look. Where I literally let this one climb up and up and up. I stopped it there. So it's like a little arch in here. Brilliant. And over here, ooh, a giant parsnip fell over, so we picked it up. Didn't have much water, so I watered it. The parsnip looked dead. It might be dead. Just a little squash look. It looks to be not so crispy anymore, so maybe it'll come back. Over there we have a sucker, which I took off one of these plants. I didn't keep an eye on what I was planting where or what sucker I took off what, so don't actually know what it is, but it's growing tomatoes. And I think these are all the black cherry and black crim. Although, no, that tomato looks like it'll go like a blacky red, like the black crim do. Then over here we have the peaches. I've taken a few of these off to try and get them to grow bigger. I haven't yet. They're still quite firm. And I took some of the little ones off, and these ones definitely have got a little bigger than those ones, but I think they're going to be pretty small this year. But small and perfect, it's fine by me. So yes, I'm happy with those. As you can see, the plot is a mess, but it doesn't matter. It's lovely to see some rain. I can't get over those beans. I think definitely manuring that plot where I knew the beans were going to grow to death. I literally chucked tons of it on there, dug it in. It was semi-fresh, but I had a few months for it to break down. It wasn't fully broken down, so I would say it was semi-fresh. Dug into the clay soil, and it has kept the ground brilliantly moist throughout the summer. We have been watering the beans, but they have needed nowhere near as much as previous years, so I would suggest make sure you have manure rich for the beans or green manure. It's breaking down, and I find the weeds, as long as they're not too tall, will keep the moisture in. Now I've been doing the chop and drop, is it, where you literally pull the weeds out and just drop them. Now that was great when it was sunny and there was no rain. Not so great when it's raining because they can re-root. So let's venture out in the rain a minute. I'll show you the rest of the stuff. This is just my weed pile, which I'm going to walk over. Plenty of couch grass. Got some borage and weeds there in between the tomatoes. And this is my Thomas Edison dahlia, and I'll put where I got that from, but it's absolutely beautiful. I've been looking forward to this. Now the tuber failed when I planted it outside because it was too wet in June, so I dug it up. But this was a cutting that I took from it just in case anything happened. So this beautiful flower is just from a cutting that I took earlier this year. Then the rhubarb has been going mental, and the peach tree does have peach leaf curl, as you can see. That's what it looks like, but it's not too bad. So we'll see how that does. It's all going to be moved around later this year. I think this is a pear tree. It doesn't look like the other one, so it might be the quince stock. So we'll see. And over here we've got the pear tree. And I'll put up where I got this from, but this is the first year I've had it, and I've got about 4 pears on it so far, so I am really pleased with how well this pear tree is done. It is amazing, so I'm so happy with that, and I would recommend buying trees from there. So yes, and there we have the elderflower. It's gone mental. So that's going to be cut down and moved later. And as you can see, we got some berries. So there we've got the Red Love era apples. They're doing alright, even despite losing the top of the tree. Filling out nicely. Then we've got flowers. There's my pot of flowers there, and a tomato. I think that's a crimson crush. Another pot of flowers, some geraniums, another crimson crush, some tomatoes on. Cherry tree's gone wild, so I'll be pruning that very soon, sometime this week. Everything's doing brilliantly. Sweet peas, I didn't keep on top of them, so I'm just gonna let them go like this. Take the seeds for next year. So got another week or 2 on these ones, but I'll be able to take a lot of these ones out before they open and seed themselves. Then not so great on the flower display this year. Got some nice petunias and these snapdragons and the apple blossom ones. Geraniums have done great, and then Amicia seems to be going to seed now, and the night scented stock is coming out, and the rudbeckia is looking great. Still can't get over this elderflower. So in here we've got the artichoke that I planted. Not doing that great in there. This is the plum tree. No plums yet, but God, that's grown this year. Again, same as the pear tree. I had that from the same supplier in the one order. I can't remember what else I had. A pear, plum and apple. I'll show you the apple in a minute. So this is the other elderflower. It's gone crazy. My standard fuchsia has fallen down again. This thing falls down every day. I'll have to get it a bigger pot. So in here we have we got the kale, which I've been eating. Some of it's gone to seed, and where I've dug out the ones that have gone to seed, I've put a cabbage. Needs a bit of weeding in here, but there's all the kale. Lots of kale sprouts at the back here. You need to feed the flower sprouts. More flower sprouts. And then we've got the red cabbages, which are starting to heart up now. So this is all the winter veg for winter, and hopefully some of this curly kale will last, but the red one seems to go to seed really quickly. I don't know if you can see them, but got my cabbage that I planted, and then in among the weeds there's some leeks. So I'm hoping, see if you can see better over here. I'm hoping this should protect them in here from the leek moth. But I can see a few more holes have appeared, so I'll have to get on those. But I have also sprayed in here with the BT spray. Then over here we've got the sunflowers that someone gave me. So they're doing much better than my ones. Then we've got the cream ochre, and this has got some flowers on it, or did have. There they are. They're the yellow flowers. Plenty of weeds in those. I think they're my Moulin Rouge sunflowers. I do not know how a slug got all the way up there, but it did. So that's all the ochre plants. And we've got the red ochre here. And these are my outdoor tomatoes. And a slug has climbed up and eaten one of the green ones. That red one looks okay. I did plant some courgettes here, but it looks like they've died. I'm just not doing well with courgettes this year. Then we've got the loganberries, and didn't manage to get all the black currants, so they've shriveled up. Some of the ones in there, but I did get tons of them. So then we've got the fig. Oh my god, you've got a fig coming. Look. It's my first fig. So it might be true what they say. Keep the roots restricted in a pot, and that helps them produce the fruit. So it looks like it's working, and I have my first fig on my now 2-year-old fig plant. Now this is terrible, so please excuse the weeds here. It's awful. I will be sorting this out. There was strawberries in amongst that lot. And then we've got the clematis. So that's it really for this plot. Right, so this is the second plot. We've got a weed in the middle there, which is lovely. Then we've got the grapevine going absolutely mental. And all the potatoes are dying back now here, so we're going to be digging those up this week. I have dug some of them already, and this little corner here where I dug them up is filled with some lettuces. So I've got the What are these ones? These are, I can't remember whether they're all year round or not. Those are the iceberg, and these must be the Web's Wonderful. And I planted my Moulin Rouge sunflowers here as well, some of them. So there's two there, one there which looks mangled, and this one here, and the bees are loving the comfrey there, so I'm going to leave them to it. Then I've got the weirdest corn I've ever seen. It's tiny plants with big corn on it. They look terrible, so I think moving them really stunted them. And then I look at my neighbour's corn and my corn. Neighbour's corn, my corn. Oh, it's sad, isn't it? Next year I'll do better. And here we have the chickpeas. So the chickpeas don't seem to have been harmed too much in moving, and they're actually producing the pods. I don't know how many peas are in a pod, never grown them before, but they've got flowers on and pods, so I am really pleased with how these chickpeas are doing. Pleased with those. Look at these corn. They're weird. What's happened to them? Where's the tassels on this one? Have they come off? Is it done? It's tiny. What's going on? I don't understand. Let's just leave them and see what happens. Then over here we have some outdoor tomatoes. These are probably Crimson Crush or Black Crim, because that's what I've been putting outside. No tomatoes on these yet, but they've probably got a million suckers on because I haven't been down here to do these. They got some flowers on, and they were planted quite late, so we get a nice warm August now. Might get a few on there. Then over here we've got the raspberries and stuff that died from the move. Didn't like it, but they seem to be coming back, so I'll cut the dead away and let those grow. I think that's a blackberry. Then we've got the wineberry. Well, and this was the apple tree as well that I had as part of the pack, so it was a pear, plum and apple. So didn't get any apples on this one this year, but that's okay. This is his first year, so didn't really expect any. I did have this apple L-star last year, so this is its second year, and it gave me one apple last year, and I've got 3, 4, 5 this year, so I'm hoping next year it'll do even better. But we've got quite a lot of growth this year, so we shall see. But that's my apple trees. So that's it for today. That's my little tour of what's happening on the allotment. I've still got a lot of things to do. Most of it will be done tomorrow and Sunday, as we're having a storm on Friday and Saturday apparently. I think it's thunder and lightning on Friday and a storm and gales on Saturday. So we'll wait and see what happens, and hopefully everything will be alright at the allotment, but it's just wait and see really. So thanks for watching, liking and subscribing. Sorry I've been away for a few weeks, but I will be back now and I will keep up with the videos. So I will see you again very soon, and I'll upload some videos that I've taken before but I haven't had time to put on, so I can show you what's happened between then and now and how things have changed. So see you again soon.